Hello, Tarsidelek. My name is Beata and I run Dharma eBooks project. I make many books in Tibetan language and other projects in Tibetan language in general. And I would like to show you how to make Tibetan texts look good, look professionally, look even, that the texts are evenly laid out in the book and look really good. So this kind of online class is for all these people who are dealing with making Tibetan books and dealing with Tibetan texts and use InDesign or Photoshop. So this is for all of you, and I hope you will learn something from this, or maybe this won't be new for you, but anyway, I would like to share what I know and how to make the Tibetan books and texts look good. InDesign is like the perfect, really the best text editor right now, best tool to make books in general, and especially Tibetan books, because in InDesign you can set up your paragraph styles and text styles in a certain way that would allow the text to look really nice. So what we have here is usually we get Tibetan text like I have here. Like this is pages, but it could be you get Tibetan text in Word file or in TextEdit or any other text file in general. And you get Tibetan text typed by someone. It has to be in Unicode. I won't discuss other types of fonts right now, but let's say text is in Unicode, like it was here. It was typed by someone. This actually is a first chapter of the book that we are now preparing for the 108 translations project for Dharma ebooks, and the text looks more or less like that. And you need to make it book from it and use InDesign for it to actually create a book. I will not cover everything about InDesign or how to make books in design, how to design these pages, page numbers, etc., etc. This is not our concern right now. The lesson is not about it. The lesson is to show you how to make this text look good in the book. So I assume that you have this kind of text and that you have InDesign. First thing it's good to do, sometimes you open InDesign and you have this kind of view. So what I would recommend at the very beginning, to change this view from essentials to book. So this is how I work, and this is how I work, and this way in book all those options for your design are present here on this kind of bar, and all other tools for design are on the other side. So this is basically the setup. And first thing, of course, that I would like to do just for this for the example of this lesson, I will add a few pages. Yes, so I will insert, let's say, 5 pages to this. It doesn't matter. Of course, you are setting up the pages very often in a certain way. We will not talk about it right now. And we take the text tool and create some text areas where our text will go. And I would like to. They need to be connected. This is what I'm doing. I'm connecting these texts so all the text will flow nicely here. So let's see, this is enough, I guess, for the beginning. And we have the text tool, right? So we can type something here, or we can place some text. So what I usually do, like say, you can import the Tibetan text also from Word file, but what I usually do, I usually have, because I work on Mac, I have it in Pages, and I will just press Ctrl A on the whole text to highlight all the text, and then Ctrl C to copy all the text, and then we will do Ctrl V to paste it. And it usually looks like that. Yes? So this is the beginning. You want to make book from this text here, and you get this kind of thing. So I want to explain you like step by step. Of course, it's on on all the pages. Yes, how the text is flowing. We have something like that. So I would like to explain you step by step of how to make this text look nice in the book. This is the first part. So we have this kind of situation that we have copy-pasted all our text, and we cannot see the text, of course. So we don't see this text because all this text that are pasted to the InDesign text file kind of come in the default basic paragraph set up by InDesign. So it's like a kind of initial paragraph that is already there, and it always has this kind of style at the very, very beginning. We need to change it. We need to make it into Tibetan text paragraph. So first thing, just to see that we have text here, we need to change the font, because this basic paragraph has some kind of default font set up by your Adobe InDesign. In my case, it is Minion Pro, which is a very nice font, but it's very good for English text and other Western languages texts, but not for Tibetan. So I am again do Ctrl A to copy to highlight all the text that are already present here, and we need to change this font into some kind of Tibetan font. Yes, I usually use, for Dharma ebooks, for the general texts, I usually use Uchen 1 or Uchen 2, which are very good fonts, and they work very well also in the ebooks, in the EPUB files. Uchen 2 and Uchen 1, or sometimes I use both of them, like Uchen 2 for the general, for the text that main text, and Uchen 1 for the Ikchung, for the small texts. So this is my style. You can have another style, but these are the fonts that I use most often. There are also fonts like this that like Chomolungma, which is also very, very good font. It has many different variants, and they are very good also for like titles and other kind of highlight subtitles, other highlight text like that. So let's say we will use Menlam Uchen 2 here, and this is what we have. And you can see that this text does not look good. Yes, it's corrupted. All the fonts are corrupted, or the letters are not displayed in a correct way. So we need to do something like that. Except of that, we usually want in the books that the texts are actually justified. Yes, so they go to the edge of our text field, and so they should go like this. And this is what happens. You see, this is what happens. What to do with this? I mean, best is also, of course. First of all, we need to use this one, not that one. That was my mistake. This one, and we have this kind of gaps here. Like at the big, this gap here may probably, we don't want this. This text does not flow properly, etc. So what we do with this, how to what we will do. We need to do a proper paragraph style for the Tibetan text, and this is what I will explain now. So we have our InDesign file. I will maybe make it big so we all can see what I'm doing here. Yes, it's so we have this text, and now we need to make proper Tibetan paragraph style. So what I usually do, you can like highlight all this text. Like for example, let's take one part of the text just as an example for the paragraph. Go to the paragraph style, and what I do here, I highlighted this part of my text already. And now I want to make the paragraph style for this part of text, yes. So I click here on the create new style, and I also press Option on my keyboard. So it will already take the information from this highlighted text. So as you will see, the font size is already here, the font name is already here, some basic information from what I have here is already present, right? So I will call it Tibetan text. Yeah, this is, let's say, this is the how I want to name it. You can name it whatever you want in any language possible. So, and this is my paragraph, and then when I have created this paragraph, and I need to assign this paragraph to the text that I have highlighted, so I will press that this text is in this paragraph. You will see, I want to show you two different paragraphs. That's why I'm still keeping the old one, the other text in the old one. So this is the Tibetan text. This is this basic paragraph that was kind of by default, kind of initially set up by InDesign. So anyway, we are here in this Tibetan text paragraph, and we need to set it up properly so that all this text look good. So so let's go to the, maybe I will do like this so we will see it better. You press 2 times on that paragraph, and you get all the options here for this kind of paragraph text. The first and most important option that you need to change for Tibetan text, but not also for Tibetan, also for Hindi, Nepali, Sanskrit, all this kind of alphabets, is justification. So this is this part here, justification. Yes, and the first thing you need to do, usually it is Adobe. You need to change the composer. Usually by default, it will be Adobe Paragraph Composer or maybe Adobe Single Line Composer. You need to change it to the Adobe Word Ready Paragraph Composer, which is the kind of composer that deals with non-Latin fonts, non-Latin alphabets. So I'm changing this, and you will see all these corrupted letters suddenly in this paragraph started to look quite good. Right? So what you do, let's say we will make it bigger. The leading is kind of the spaces between the lines of the text. So in Tibetan, because there are these very long letters and also some marks above the letters, etc. So they need quite a big, usually bigger than for English language, for example, spaces between the lines. So you need to increase this one. Yes. So this is the main thing you do. And another thing. Here in the spaces you have this left justified, so the text starts in left and it goes to the edge of your text area. Yes, so this is quite important. And you don't need to change this English language to any other, because there is no Tibetan, unfortunately, in InDesign, but you can change it to no language. It doesn't actually matter too much. But also it is very good to go back to the justification. This is very important, as I said, setting for Tibetan, and we already have changed it to the Adobe Word Ready Composer, but there are two other things that we can do to make Tibetan look better. Because you see, as you see, we have this kind of spaces here, like something that we don't want, this kind of gaps that are we see very often in the Tibetan books. So first, you can change the scaling, the glyph scaling, yes? And so glyph is kind of one kind of mark, one sign, one letter, you may say. And I will say this, set it up to minimum 95 and maximum, like for example, 15, 115. So this already, you can see here what is happening, is changing our text. It starts to spread kind of nicer, better. The gap you see is smaller here. Another setting that is good to change is this letter spacing. So this is like spacing between the letters. So for example, I will do here 3%, desired 2%, and minimum 1%. Yeah. So we are changing this. It we don't see much difference right now, but you can actually see that, but overall it helps with the whole text. So these are the settings that are best for the Tibetan texts and for this kind of font, for the Minlam font. It could be slightly different for different fonts. So you can, if you are like making book in some other font, then maybe it is better to kind of check other, maybe it should be 90 and here 120, maybe these settings should be slightly different. You need to play with it and see what works best. So this is the basic thing that we need to do here. And we have the text, and so this is the paragraph setting that is right for the Tibetan texts. And now you can see, like for example, here is the Tibetan text. Yes, you can see this is Tibetan text. This paragraph is in Tibetan text. Yes, I will maybe zoom it. Yeah, and like that. And this one is in the basic paragraph. Yes, so let's see, here I would change it to basic paragraph and it will again look corrupted. If I change it to Tibetan text, it looks good. And if I, for example, change this one into Tibetan text, it starts to look good as well. So this is the main thing you need to do when you deal with the Tibetan books and you are trying to make them look nice in InDesign. Now we have this Tibetan text already in the very good paragraph style, yes, with the correct settings, but there are still kind of like little gaps. You can see there's still something wrong with it. Yes, we can make this one in the Tibetan text as well. Let's see, like that. Don't worry about this. You need to kind of refresh the view. Okay. And so what is happening? Why there are still this kind of gaps? This gap we don't want. Yes, this one. What is happening here? Yes, why it still doesn't look so perfect? So this is because someone who was typing this text in Word or Pages or whatever text file made these gaps. I mean, typed these gaps. So when you get the text file from someone or you type it, you don't see those spaces because you don't know how to see this. So but they are there. Someone was typing it this way. I will show you exactly where is it. So we have this, for example, I have Pages, but most likely the same setting is sits somewhere in the Word So, but I will show you where is it in Pages. So this text is in Pages, and you go to the view in Pages. Yes, we are in the Pages tab. So in the bar with Pages settings, and you need to find a kind of tool that is called Show Invisibles. You see, it is here, Show Invisibles. I will press this, and I hope you can see this here. It is let's see. We will make it. Yes, like if I make it bigger, let's say. Let's make it bigger. This text, okay. Yes, so here you see the spaces. So someone, when they were typing this text, they were making spaces on the keyboard. Yes, so here is double space, here is multiple space, here is some tab, here is 3 spaces. You see, it should be just one to make text look good in InDesign. So there are this happens very often, and it's kind of like a habit of people typing in Tibetan to make these extra spaces. And actually, when people type in English or in any other language, they also very often make this kind of thing and create extra spaces like that. So it's always good to check the text from this perspective, and it is very easy also to see this in InDesign. I mean, when you have the text in design, you just go to View, or you go to Type, and then at the very bottom of this you see Show Hidden Characters. So you need to press Show Hidden Characters, and you see exactly the same thing. Yes, you see that this text has extra spaces, like here is double space, here is extra tab, here is multiple space. Yes, this space shouldn't be here, etc., etc. Yes, so we have this kind of situation. So what we need to do, actually it's quite easy to clean it up in InDesign. You just need to go to Edit, Find Change. Yes, we have this kind of very good Find Change tool in InDesign, and this is what I very often do with Tibetan text, and go to this query. Usually it goes custom, but you need to choose it's like predefined kind of tools for the find and change. And this is very often I use multiple retain to single return, but we need to choose this one, multiple space to single space. So it looks like this. If I here you need to set up if you want this to be changed in the whole in your whole document or selected text or whatever. In my case, it will be the whole document, and you just do change all, and this. You see how many double spaces was in this short text. Yes, so we do OK, and we have it. And InDesign change all the multiple spaces for us into one single space, and you can see already that the text looks good. Here we have the kind of view. Maybe I should have told you earlier that this kind of view where you see the borders of your text space, etc., and you see all those kind of hidden characters, comes with the view when you press W. Like, for example, you need to click someone outside your text and press W on your keyboard. So this way you will see how it looks on the book pages. Yes, and you can see how nice. There are no like gaps, no big spaces between the letters. Yes, already. And then press again somewhere outside the text, not in the text but outside the text, and then again press W, and then you see these spaces. And of course, I will go to the text tool, yes, and of course for Tibetan you need to sometimes also clean it up manually. Like for example, you shouldn't have the space at the beginning of the line, yes. This space we need to delete it manually. This space is not correct, it shouldn't be here, etc. There is also a way in edit, find change, yes, to we need to clean it up. We need to change this equation and choose tab. Tabs are this kind of spaces here. So we don't want it. It is better if this is set in InDesign paragraph. If we want to use it, it is better to use it in InDesign paragraph. It's not good to have it like from the Word or other text file. So I always clean it up. And here you do nothing, just it has to be deleted, yes. So you from tab you go to nothing and then do change all in the whole documents. There were 80, yes, all the tabs are deleted, done. And now if you want to have this kind of space in your text, it is much better to set it up in your paragraph style. So you go to this paragraph, everything is like, for example, this one also will be in the Tibetan text paragraph, right? You have these paragraphs and you just go to the indents and spacing, right? Maybe I will change it to points. This is where you do it. You will change it to points and then you will have points in the spacing. Yes, so for example, we have this paragraph, there are no indents, there are no spaces. So you can create something like space before, so you can see immediately. If you press the preview button here, yes, then you will be immediately seeing your changes. So you can do space before, you can do space after. Yes, for example, or you don't do the spaces before or after, you set it up to 0 and you make first line indent. So this is the first line indent. This is what is very often set for the Tibetan, for any books, right? So, and then you decide here how big this indent should be. It shouldn't be too big. This is I think enough for the Tibetan text, yes? So you set it up here. You set everything here in this paragraph settings instead of copy pasting it from your text file. And now this I will press W, click outside and press W again, and then here you go. It's a very nicely laid out Tibetan text that doesn't have any gaps, and all the letters are spread very nicely and evenly. The gaps are usually quite equal now, you know, between the words, between the texts, and everything looks quite fine. Yes, so this is basically it. So this is what I wanted to show you and teach you. Now there are some kind of extra settings that when you already have this and you are dealing with Tibetan text and Tibetan book, making Tibetan books quite often, then there are a few other things that it's, for example, good to know, good to do. Like for example, you can change this setting for the Tibetan, for the composer for good in your InDesign. So for example, you can go to the InDesign here and the preferences, yes, and in preferences advanced type. And here in this advanced type, you see that there is this paragraph. These are the settings for this justification that we had, that I was showing you earlier. So there is this default composer, and this default composer is Adobe Paragraph Composer. So you can change it already here into Adobe Word Ready Paragraph Composer. So then your InDesign setup will kind of remember that this is your preferable composer, that you prefer this kind of composer for the books that you make, and it will work well with all the languages, with Tibetan, Hindi, English, Vietnamese, or whatever it is. This is actually much better than the Adobe Paragraph Composer or single line composer. So this is you can change it here, and then whatever new paragraph you will create, it will change. It will also change for this default paragraph, basic paragraph. If you so for example, and when you create new paragraph, like for example new paragraph style, it should already have Adobe Word Ready Paragraph Composer. You see, actually it remembers usually it remembers, but it's always worth to check the settings that you have done for the previous paragraph. But it's always better to double check how it looks. But usually, if you change the settings in your preferences, it should be there. And for example, here, yes, you can change it into, for example, Tibetan title, let's say, and it will have, instead of Minlam Uchen 2, Tibetan title will have, for example, Chomolungma. Some, like for example this one, or let's see, something that is really strong, Chomolungma. I have this kind of Chomolungma title font, okay. Here, yes, so for example here, this one will be Tibetan title, and you can see it's a different font. We can also change the settings for this one and make it in the center. We can make space after this, etc., and it looks already quite well. So this is one additional thing for the InDesign. So this kind of problems with Tibetan texts appear not only in InDesign but also in Photoshop. Yes, like for example, I have Photoshop CC 2026, and I want to write something in Tibetan because I want to make like some kind of banner or I don't know, ebook cover or whatever. Yes, and I want to write something in Tibetan. So same thing, same problems appear here with the corrupted Tibetan text. Like for example, I have something here. I set up some with the text tool. Yes, some text area, and now I want to replace this with Tibetan, and it looks like this. It doesn't look very good, right? It's again corrupted, like the text in InDesign. It gets corrupted also in Photoshop, and there is the same kind of setting. It's that like we already had in InDesign, but it's in a slightly different place. So in Photoshop, you have also paragraph styles. Yes, so it looks like this. If you don't see it, then you can go to Window and go to Type. Styles, maybe styles, and go to Window, paragraph or paragraph styles, doesn't matter. Paragraph, we already have it. Yes, so this is this one. Yes, so you highlight the text in that you are dealing with, this text in Tibetan. Go here to the paragraph, and then you can see some extra settings in this place here. Yes, so go here, and you can see that there is also some kind of composer, like in InDesign, but it's not, it's not called composer, but it's still there. And usually by default it is Latin and Eastern Asian layout, and you need to again change it to Word Ready layout. So this is the thing that you need to change here, right? So you change it here, and then Tibetan text looks good again, and it's not corrupted, and you can kind of use it to, I don't know, change the change the text that you are making, etc. Make it bigger. Let's make it bigger, and right, and it looks fine. It's not corrupted, as you see, and there is no need to create glyphs. In Photoshop, it's also good to, like, I will go to the properties here to have no extra spaces between the letters. This always looks much better for Tibetan, and there are some kind of additional settings here that you may want to use or not. But anyway, I wanted to show you that there is a way to kind of fix all these corrupted Tibetan letters in Photoshop as well.